Welcome to Casey's Garage, and in today's video we're going to be working on my 2006 Mitsubishi Eclipse that I picked up on Marketplace a little while back, and we're going to be getting some repairs done on it and get it back on the road. Alright, and here is our latest project I just picked up the other day as we're finishing up the Buick here. But this is a 2006 Mitsubishi Eclipse with 102,000 miles on it. It drives really good. It does need new tires, and the main thing it needs is a new fender. The previous owner claims that he hit a deer, so I closely examined the car the best I could, and it does look like it's just the fender. He already replaced the headlight, and we might have to do a little bit of work on the bumper. But overall, the car's in pretty good shape. Interior's got the leather seats. I'll show you on the other side. And another thing it's going to need is probably just a whole new seat. This one's tore up pretty bad, but we've got the sunroof up on top. Minor hail damage, if you guys can see it. I don't know. Not sure if you guys can see it or not, because there's a thing, you see that dent there, but just have minor hail damage. And the guy liked Deadpool. He's got some stickers there on the wheels. There's a dent here he covered up with a sticker. But overall, not a bad looking car, fun to drive. But before we go anywhere with it, we have to get some new rubber, because this front tire, you can see it there, has a pretty good bubble on it. There it is. And it's actually cracked as well, so I am not going to drive this car until we get some new rubber. But I think right now what I'm going to do is go ahead and take this fender off so I can look underneath it, because I'm going to go to the junkyard and see if we can find some parts maybe tomorrow, and I'll bring you guys along with me. So that was actually pretty easy getting this fender off, and the good news is I don't see any damage to the apron underneath. And so we need to get a new fender, and of course the headlight was fine. It was already replaced, and then I just took it off, stuck it in the back of the car. I just wanted to take a look at the frame rail and everything underneath, make sure it's all good, and I don't see any problems there. So yeah, we'll just get a new fender, fix the end of the bumper right there, and that should all go back together pretty easily. So now what I need to do is go through the car and make a list of things it needs, so that when I go to the junkyard, I don't forget what I'm looking for. Alright, so we're at the second location, and I had to stop here and just take a look at this bad boy. Wow. The paint is mint. A little damage right here. Maybe that little damage is why it's here. I can zoom out a little bit. Wow, classic Lincoln. Well, this might be a long day at this yard, because they have no parts, and that toolbox down there is pretty heavy. So I guess we'll have to try to remember to record when I can here, but I need to go that direction. Alright, so I just got back from the salvage yards, and here's what I got. We got a seat, a fender, overhead console, and a radio. Oh, and a bumper bracket. So the bumper bracket, radio, and fender is for the Eclipse. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to find a seat for the Eclipse that I was needing. But I was able to find a rear seat for the Buick. One of the rear seats in the Buick, the reclining feature is broke. And I found this out there, and it's only like $39. So I figured, hey, I'll save me some time having to try to fix the broken seats. Well, it's supposed to rain for the next several days, so I am done test fitting this fender for the Eclipse, and we'll go ahead and get it painted. I have it scuffed down already. I just need to use some wax and grease remover. Just make sure there's no skin oils or contaminants on it. And we're going to use my trusty Camel Hausfeld spray gun that I bought back when we did the front bumper of the Fusion. And this kit was only like $70-ish, or if I remember right, on Amazon. And I've used it once, and it did such a good job on that bumper that I didn't have to wet sand the finish when I was done painting it. So let me go ahead and get everything put together here. For the most part, it's already together, and just make sure it's clean, and then we'll go ahead and start mixing some paint and get it laid down on our fender. Actually, you know what? We probably need to prime this first. Now it is primed, sanded, and sealed. So let's go ahead and grab some paint and start seeing if we can get it to lay down nice and smooth. Alright, so it looks like the fender's close, but not exact. It's actually been a couple days since getting it painted, and since then I've taken the bumper off so I could work on the AC system. Got a new condenser in, and now I've got the vacuum pump set up on it so that hopefully we can get all the air out of the system. And while that is running, I'm going to go ahead and start wet sanding this fender and see if we can start getting it to blend better. All right, so I think it's already looking a little bit better. So I'm gonna go ahead and use some Meguiar's 105 with my dual action polisher here. And then we'll use some 205, then polish it, and then we'll see how it blended together. Alright, so I'm going to switch over to some 205. I got to change the pad, and this will get it down to just little micro scratches. Alright, now it's time to switch over to the polish and give it a nice shine. Well, of course I don't have a shadow on it, but what do you guys think? How's this coming out on camera? Yeah, that shadow's not helping, but I think it does look a lot better. So I did 2 rounds of polish, and I may have to drive this out and get it in full sunlight so we can really look at it. But yeah, not too bad. I think I'll call that good for now, and then I'm going to finish up this AC and finish vacuuming it out. Then we'll start pumping some Freon in it. Alright, so the pump has vacuumed all the air out of the system. Now I don't have the gauges with me to monitor the pressure, but I'm just going to use this gauge here that I got at O'Reilly's, and we'll go ahead and pump a can of Freon in. Of course, first thing we got to do is turn on the AC and put it on max. Isn't kicking on. So let me mess with this real quick and be right back. There we go, just had to get a little Freon in her. Now she's spinning. I think our can is about empty, so I'm going to go ahead and probably switch it out. Feels empty. And then while we're doing this, let's go ahead and oh yeah, it's already getting cold. All right, let's go ahead and put a little more in it. Yeah, that's pretty empty. There we go. That right there. Put a little more. That's where we want it. I'm gonna go ahead and stop. That's about 36. All right, so now what's left is to go for a little drive and see if we can enjoy the comfort of cold AC. And so far it feels really good. All right, AC is ice cold. I'm happy with the results. So I'm gonna head back home and clean up and get some dinner. And that is it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.